Caddis Maximus here. I guess this is just going to be a little bit of a rip-off report. I found this at a thrift store for 99 cents. It's one of these little, it's not even a Bluetooth. It's just a little headphone jack style mini speaker that's supposedly supposed to be louder and sound better than what's in your phone. But this is actually just a rip-off. These are, I guess, an as seen on TV thing when I was looking it up. These are actually on Amazon and a few other places for like $10 to $15. Just absolutely ridiculous. This thing is barely better than anything that's in your phone. Do not buy it. These products, when I find them, I've decided to make more videos about them just because they're just such a, they're just such a waste of money. It's just, who even invests in this stuff? It's terrible that people buy this stuff. Let me give you an example here. We'll go ahead and plug it in. This is a Galaxy S6 here, so we're going to use at least somewhat of a decent phone. Or source. Here we go. We'll crank the volume. Oh, I love that warning. Anyway, we can see that it's barely better than what's actually built into a cell phone. Totally ridiculous. Let's take it apart. But it does have a blue LED, so I guess that makes it cool. We got a couple screws. This should be pretty easy to take apart. I already measured out the proper size. They use really narrow diameter bores for these screws. Kind of hard to get into. Anyway, we just got a couple screws on the bottom, and it's amazing how tiny these little things are. My goodness, that screw didn't quite get all the way out. Well, that's good enough here. Pull those out, and then just the two pieces come apart, and we have a tiny little speaker right there. And inside we have our little amplifier board, a little cord retainer, and a tiny little lithium-ion battery, which actually are handy for projects. I have a special universal Maha charger, so I can even recharge these little guys. And let's get that stuff out of there. I guess it's literally just one screw on the inside here, and we have 4 on the top. There's our little cord retainer. And then all this probably just starts to push out, which indeed it does. If I can just pull it out of there, let me get a flathead here and knock this little thing apart. There we go. Get that out. The battery is stuck in there. This is always a special process because you don't really want to pinch or damage these little batteries. And that is a pretty sticky tape. Let's see if I can't cut it out of there. Alright, we do have some information on this little guy. We have a standard 3.7 volt, 220 milliamp hour. That's tiny. That's like what's inside a watch. We do have a little board here. 2012. Ooh, and this is even version 1.3. So this was the improved version. Super simple. Super duper simple. There's not even any components on the back. On the front, we actually have, I guess, one circuit that deals with the charging of the battery on our little indicator here. And the second circuit, which I suppose is the amplifier. So so apparently this little circuit here, you can just see there that's a 8002 amplifier right there, and maximum, well, they claim up to 3 watts at 3 ohms at 5 volts input, but we only have a 3.7 volt battery, so it's actually even underpowering the amplifier that this thing came with. Anyway, these products are kind of a joke. You don't know why. I guess investors do make their money off of it, but really they're just a joke product. They're just a ripoff, and people just are, most times don't return them, or they're not returnable, or there's just some kind of impulse buy that you throw in a cart. Seems not a lot, but a few stores like to kind of get little collections of this as seen on TV stuff, and they're all over Amazon. And I just wonder how much money people actually kind of waste on these items. I see I'm totally out of frame there. I'm just trying to get the speaker out so you can see the last little portion of this thing. And this is all super tiny electronics on this little board on here. Otherwise, I'd try to see how loud I can make it just by manually driving more electricity into the amplifier board itself, which is probably something I could do if I had the right little tools to grab a hold of those little legs there. Let's see. Oh, I see this. Just this outer plastic faceplate comes off. Ooh, it is a metal screen there. That could actually be handy for something. And there's our paltry little speaker. Oh, they did have a little foam bit in there so it wouldn't make a lot of noise. Look at this little guy. That's just a tiny little speaker. 2-watt speaker at 4 ohms. So apparently the speaker is matched for about the 2-watt output of the amplifier, but they're just undervolting the darn thing with a 3.7 volt battery. Otherwise, it actually would go louder. That's what's even worse about this product. And it's kind of interesting to learn. I mean, this is not, it's worth $2, but to see some weird engineering, just maybe because of the way they're able to get the supply, to see a product that could be louder if it simply had more power going to it. I probably should have mentioned earlier, yeah, the USB is 5 volts, but when I plugged it in, for some reason, the way it's set up, it didn't seem to really get maybe a touch louder, but not very much louder at all. And last but not least, I always think this is kind of cool. I may save this, but that is some super fine hair-thin wire that they're using for this little headphone connector. So I'll probably keep this for little parts, maybe this battery for a while to see if I can't make like some kind of little LED device. And of course, I'll pull off the dual blue and red LED on this unit here. But generally speaking, don't buy these kind of products. They're just totally cheeseball and just a waste of your money, especially when some places are trying to get $10 or something. Gosh, save your money. Anyway, I really appreciate everybody watching and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Until next time, Catus Maximus out.